So in this video we're going to be looking at the Makefile. So the first thing that's important to know is the compiler. So the compiler is from the adaptive CPP library, so it's called ACPP. However, for some computers it might be that ACPP doesn't work for whatever reason, and there's also this other one, SickleCC. So do try using that instead if you feel like you've installed everything properly and for some reason your computer's saying it can't find ACPP. If that is the case, then you want to remove this line. And so this line basically points us to the targets of where we're going to be running our computations. So OMP, OpenMP is the default for running things on your CPU, but if you want to run things on, say, an NVIDIA chip, then you would just change this for something like CUDA SM70 or there's a few different varieties of this. Do have a look on the adaptive CPP GitHub page to see the different options. I tagged that in the original repository. In terms of the other flags, O3, this just tries to optimize the code as much as possible, so it might take longer for the Makefile to compile, but hopefully it will mean that the actual code is faster to run. You can change this to O2, O1. Anything beginning with an L is a library, so this is the nonlinear optimization library, this is the maths library, this is the HDF5 library, which is what we use for saving files, GLP library, GSL library, and then some other ones as well. Armadillo, for example, here, which does all the vectors and matrices. These terms I and -L can be used to include folders directly. So I was finding that on some machines, if I just used -L HDF5, it wasn't finding the HDF5 library. So I've included this by default to hopefully catch everything. You might get a warning just to say that this didn't include anything. Hopefully it should still work because it will still use this tag and find the actual location that you're using. And then the rest of the script just finds the .cpp file that's inside of your folder, and it will compile it and create the application, the executable file with the correct name. So the name will match your file name. So if your file name's robot2d.cpp, then the executable will be robot2d. So that should hopefully be very straightforward. And yeah, in order to run your code, you just run make, and then in the next line you do // and then the name of this executable, and that should execute all your code correctly. Here you can see that we include a couple files. So this is the source directory from the repository. So wherever you've stored this, it's important that this part of the code matches. So if you just create your own example or your own code and you put it in the example folder, it should be alright to just keep this as it is. But if for whatever reason you're running your code in another folder somewhere, you will probably need to update these in order to point to the correct file locations. That's all for now, and in the next video I'll go over the configuration files, so I'll see you there.